get started. Does anyone want to get out?
Hi everybody. Why am I on the bottom? Like, okay.
Because you belong there.
I am not a power bottom. But hey!
No, you wouldn't even be that.
Would a pop Oh, how's everyone doing tonight?
I am Alfarius.
I am here. That counts for something.
I am Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Oh God, chill that ego.
It's growing. But I mean, I think I have every right to have an ego because I got something I want to show off to you guys. I got a really good deal on this. So, am I cool now?
Hell yeah, look at that.
Not ever, but.
Yes, I have Steam Deck.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah,
you literally have every emulated game in your hand right now.
Yeah, actually, I set up Emu Deck and I did the opening to Wind Waker. Holy crap, that game looks really good. Some games, it seems like they applied HD textures or upres automatically. Some games, it was defaulting to resolution. It didn't look as good. So I got to like tweak some of them. But like, holy crap, is it awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
that cell shading thing. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that cell shading thing that everybody like a lot of people were vocal about when Wind Waker came out. Who's laughing now? That holds up really well.
Yeah, it's only aged better.
Yeah. I mean, look at Jet Grind Radio for the Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, gorgeous game.
Yeah, and it's over 20 years old and it still looks good. Like inspired games like Hi-Fi Rush, you know. Mm-hmm. But what's everyone else been up to? Like, let's kind of what you guys been playing.
Funny that you should mention setting up Wind Waker on the Steam Deck. I've been playing Wind Waker via, which I finally got to set up properly.
Oh, pirate!
Yar.
Well, do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
A pirate. It's raw. Is it bad that I knew exactly what you were doing?
You guys find bad, but that's okay.
See, don't let Nintendo hear this. But when it comes to emulation,
guidelines than actual rules.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh. Hey, Mercenary. How you guys doing? So, basically, now that we're officially in the Christmas season, Thanksgiving is past us. For the rest of the year, we're going to do a bit of a theme. The theme is basically the holidays. You know, I mean, I'm very original, I know. So, basically, this is how the rest of the year is going to work out. So this week, we're going to be talking about kind of the negative aspects of the holidays, airing some grievances, just kind of getting some stuff off all of our chest. The next week is going to be the positives. And then the third week, which I believe is the week of Christmas, we're going to be talking about nostalgia, like the nostalgia of Christmas. There's a certain N64 commercial from back in the day that I always love to watch around this time.
Yes!
Jingle bells, Christmas really sucks. If you're an old head, you know, like, so doing that. And then to cap off the year, we're doing a year in review on the last week. So yeah, I was in some stores, I think even earlier today, like Walmart and whatnot, they're already playing it. It's bad. So I think to start this off, we're going to kind of go around and everyone kind of give like their general negative stuff about about the holidays. We'll go into more specifics later on, but I just kind of want everyone to do their bah humbugs, and we'll start with probably the smartest person in this room. Rose, please go first.
Ah, where do I start? The over-the-top nagging for donations and bells and screaming in public. Don't I hate those bells so much. It makes me not want to give because they trigger my migraines every time, and I can't even get to a store to get food without it in my ear. Or just the absolute, 'tis the season to be assholes. Fa la la, go fuck yourselves. Sorry, but that's one of my songs to get through because it's supposed to be a season of love and kindness and understanding, and it's me first, gimme, and it's it's so annoying, Sorry, I had to use the F-bomb for that one because that's
to try and keep them.
I will keep them down.
Hey, you've been respectful to me in the past, so I have no reason to believe otherwise. So you're all good. Sharon, what about you?
I mean, honestly, my complaints are a lot of the same along the line of Rose's. It's just all the bells, because I'm one of the cash rep guys. I'm the one who has to ring it.
You must hate Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which, by the way, that's going to be a topic of in itself. But go ahead.
I mean, like actual caroling bells that are properly tuned, I don't mind those. Those are nice because they're instruments. They're made to do that. These are literal tinky, 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 and it's right in your ear. And it like sets off my tinnitus, and I'm deaf for like half a minute while people are like, where the heck is my stuff? Blah, blah, blah. Me. I want my stuff. I want my gifts. And everybody else in my family is like, hey, where did my gifts go? Can't you not give me my gifts?
Why can't you just look them in the eye and be like, you'll get this stuff when you fix this damn door?
I actually look them dead in the eye and like, look, man, I'm struggling to pay my rent and my food and my gas. If I have extra money to give you gifts, you probably would have already gotten them.
Yeah. So Chris, complain.
As a person of multi-faith background there, growing in a house that wasn't Christian, here's one that really bothers me. And I guess I can kind of say this because I'm not Christian, but we really need to sack up and call it Christmas. I'm sick of the holidays. I'm sick of seasons greeting. Like,
oh my
dude,
God,
it's Christmas.
yes.
Just call
or the Xmas. I think that was kind of like a 90s, like it kind of died out by mid 2000s.
Yeah,
like
Xmas was more 90s, and then it changed to Festivus.
Yeah, well, they
basically,
they're like, oh, it's inclusive. Oh, it's not, dude. Hanukkah this year.
Take a holiday from somebody.
Well, Hanukkah ends, I think, like the first week of December. I'll have to look it up, but like by the time you get into the full swing of Christmas, like Hanukkah's gone and past, and it's not even our big holiday. Like,
and here's the thing: 99% of the time, when you're saying like seasons greetings, happy holidays, you mean Christmas.
Yep.
Like the people who are out shopping, they're Christmas shopping. Yes, Hanukkah, there's Hanukkah shopping, but it's not as pronounced as Christmas shopping. Like everyone who's marketing, you're marketing Christmas. Like for example, you still call it a Christmas tree. I know people try to call it a holiday tree or some bullshit, but like there's Christmas decorations all around. You meet Santa, like you want to be inclusive. How about you spin, like I don't know the Jewish tradition, but like you spin the ladle or
you mean the dreidel with the gelt. Yeah, but the other thing that really brings me down around Christmas / Hanukkah / Festivus / whatever the hell you want to call it is, well, it's a holiday for kids, and a lot of adults these days don't remember that, and it saddens me when I see the me generation, the me's, where it's like, dude, you had your time as a kid. This is your kid's chance.
Yeah,
for Christmas. Like,
and that's something that everyone has to go through. Usually, by the time you hit about 30 is usually kind of the cutoff for Christmas being, be about you. One thing my family did I thought was pretty good is we had like what we call the gag gift game. We're like, it's like White Elephant, and there's very many variations of it. Where we're like, yeah, you can still do gift giving for each other, but like there kind of comes a point where like it's not about you. It's like you go from you're being the one to get the presents to you giving them. Yep. Especially when the next, like for example, I have nieces and nephews.
Oh yeah,
Christmas isn't about me; it's about them. It goes from like, oh, I got this thing, I'm smiling. Now you're smiling because you got the thing they wanted, and they're all happy and they're hugging you. It's kind of like, I guess, part of like the transitioning to adulthood thing. Mm-hmm. And I know that like more recently there's kind of been like, oh, you can still do childish things. Like, yeah, but people like, there's some things we can't avoid. And like in the Christmas transition, I think is one of them.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I also want to add on to this, because you actually just reminded me of this, Chris, but the people who are aggressively festive. Because I'm one of the people who, work in the customer service that actually sack up and say, hey, Merry Christmas. Or, I actually say the name of the holiday. And, it's not any specific denomination of people, but a lot of times I'll hear like, it's Kwanzaa, asshole, or it's Hanukkah, asshole. I'm not Christian. I'm like, well, I do apologize that I didn't know that, but
I mean, Christmas is just as much a secular holiday as it is a Christmas one.
It is. Santa Claus is not.
How insane that is, because, okay, first of all, Native, we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. Let's be honest here. Do you think I got offended at people sending me Thanksgiving wishes?
Exactly. No. Yeah.
If somebody says,
kind of ironic, but
if somebody black, if somebody in these other cultures and religions say happy their holiday, I'm not offended at that. I wish them back a happy of mine, and we're happy.
They're literally sending you merriment. They're sending you cheer. They're wishing you good fortune.
It's so crazy to get offended because somebody else takes something from their culture or their faith and wishes it good for you too, because that's them trying to share what they are with you. That's actually them accepting you.
Yeah,
it's like literally the most inclusive thing you can do is like Chris, let's say you're practicing Q, you invited me over for Hanukkah, and I say, but I'm not Jewish, and you're like, I don't care, get your butt over here, we're having
yeah,
that's inclusive. That is inclusive. You're sharing your culture,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, life is far more inclusive when we share than if we try to seclude ourselves in only our own little group. It's the same thing with the complaint about they said, well, you're not inclusive if you say Merry Christmas. Actually, you're more inclusive if you acknowledge every group's holiday. And that includes Christian. Then if you try to go, well, your Christian holiday offends people. I don't see you going to the Jewish temples and saying, well, you got to do Christmas stuff or you're not inclusive.
Because here's a dirty little secret.
Okay? Stupid.
Let's say you're a cashier, okay? You say Merry Christmas 10 times. 9 times out of 10, they're there for Christmas, and it's fine. The 10th time, you have the person say, "Oh, actually, I'm celebrating Hanukkah." The cashier would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Happy Hanukkah then."
Yeah, Chag Sameach.
Yeah. And a normal person would be like, "Okay," like a normal person understands Christmas is a dominant thing. They like when you corrected them, they understood, and they it's like an exchanging of respect. And I don't get it,
Well, I work with a bunch, like my company has a lot of Indians, and Diwali just happened. Okay, I was completely ignorant of what Diwali was, but it's like a festival of lights. So it's like, oh, okay, I can understand. I see it all over like LinkedIn, all over. I'm celebrating that stuff. That's them, Like if my company is like, hey man, we've got a bunch of people that celebrate this religion or whatever. We're not going to call it the holidays or whatever. We're going to be like, hey, look, happy Eid, for the Muslims, or happy Diwali for the Hindus. More power to them. It offends me when people get offended on my behalf, though, and they're like, "Don't say Merry Christmas in front of him. You got to say Happy Holidays."
And
why?
And you know what I say to like all these people who get all hung up about it?
Whoa! That's interesting, but I sure don't care.
I'm sorry, I had to use that.
Where did the cat? It's me.
Oh, Karen.
It is so weird to me that people get so hung up on, well, you gotta wish me a happy of my thing. It's like, why? Do I sit here and bitch at people because they don't speak Lakota and don't understand my culture? Or do I sit there and go, I'll share it with you and you share yours with me?
Well, when people are demanding all this stuff, my response is just this.
Your words are as empty as your soul.
It should have been your head. It should have been your head, not your soul. But
Die, monster. You don't belong in this world.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Was that me or finishing the other thoughts?
All right. So, Nix, you've been really patient. So, go.
Well, I have to agree with the rest of them. I don't like the asshole. I don't like the people who are like, oh, me, all me. Give me presents. Give me this. Give me that. Oh, this is what I need. Blah, 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 blah. I don't like that it's cold either. I'm Canadian. I get
Nick,
terrible cold.
So, Nix, I'm assuming this is what you want to say to him.
Hey, it's me. Prove it. You're a dick. Okay.
I'm having way too much fun, but Nix, continue, please.
Like, I don't know. I'm a pretty good gift giver, I think. I take into account what I know about a person.
Yeah.
Jesus. Specifically go and I look for stuff that I know that they'll like.
Mm-hmm.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and this kind of connects to people who are like, oh, well, it's the thought that counts. Like, I thought of you. But then their gift is like nothing to do with anything you're interested in.
Okay,
it's just some random thing.
I have to break the rule. I have to tell a positive story for a second.
Oh,
and you're talking about like thought that counts, and it literally just kind of triggered a memory. One of the greatest gifts I've ever gotten for Christmas was a Borders gift card.
Ooh.
Okay, I need to explain. So, my sister had recently started dating her boyfriend. They're married and have kids now, so that kind of tells you where things are going. And basically, 6 months prior to Christmas, we were in a Borders bookstore. That kind of tells you how long ago this was. I think this was like 2004 because like I was still in high school, so maybe 2003. And I was obviously really fascinated because, you know, I love books because I'm a freaking nerd. And
nerd.
Hey, it's accurate. And so come Christmas, the boyfriend gave me a Borders gift card, and I opened it up, and the first thing I screamed was, "You knew," and that meant a lot to me. And I still like it's you can tell like it meant a lot to me because I'm telling you the story right now. The fact that he saw how much I liked Borders, and he was still getting to know me. Like, they had just started dating. So, to me, it showed, like, hey, he was observant. He saw I really liked Borders, and he got me that gift card because he knew I liked Borders. So, it's like the fact that he paid enough attention to realize that meant a lot to me. And, okay, let's just start complaining again because that's too much positivity for this stream.
But see, that's what I mean. Like, when someone put actual thought into their gift, and it's not just, oh, I thought of you, here, take this random whatever it is I found at some cheap store.
Hey, here's I know you like writing, so hey, here's a stack of papers. Here's a notebook that I got from the dollar store for you. Here, you like writing, right?
Yeah, gifts for the sake of gift giving like are kind of meaningless to me. Like, if you don't know the person well enough, either get them nothing or get them money. You know what I mean? Like,
because no one's gonna complain about money.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. But when you give them something they don't want, it becomes a burden for them because it's like, how do they get rid of it? Or
they have to fake being nice about it.
Yep.
Like the only thing you know about him is a college kid. All right, here's this. You either give him a Subway gift card or you give them like a gas card. You know, they will be happy.
Yep, like, they can use that.
For example,
that would have bothered me. always hated certain things, and Subway was one of them. But I never had a car in college, so it's like am I one of the only people who? And yeah, I'm not gonna cram things down people's throats or all that, but I'm the one who will make and give out thousands of gifts every year to every person. And yes, there will be some uniformity, but it's things where for each section of people I'm dealing with, interacting with, it's something that's connected to all the things we were doing. It's things that they know that I make. It's prints. It's stuff like that. And yeah, I will carry gifts and give them out to strangers, but it'll be something that they were looking at something similar or something like that, you know?
Yeah, like you want to talk about like a handmade gift. I remember one year, my other sister, what she did is she took some of my late grandfather's shirts and actually made ornaments out of them. Like she basically took like a styrofoam ball and took like the flannels and like hot glued it or something and made ornaments out of it. Like, yeah, that's cool. You know, that's thought. You know, give them out. Like I thought that's nice.
I mean, my grandmother, what she always did was she would make the the bead ornaments.
Okay. I got to put a cap on this. We're kind of getting a little bit too positive. This is supposed to be the negative stream, guys.
Another thing.
This is my problem. I assembled such a great group of people. I'm trying to be negative. I'm trying to be complaining. We just had to be positive. We just had to talk about the.
You want a black pill? Sorry, I'll black pill the stream right now. Ready? Every year that goes by reminds us that fewer and fewer people are attending our holiday gatherings because they're all dying. And eventually you will be alone celebrating this holiday by yourself if you're the unfortunate one to outlive them all.
I'm gonna tell. Well, I guess it's my turn to talk, but that's already my reality because I'm on the outs with my family. So honestly, holidays for like the past 3 years have just been myself. Like I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I spent Thanksgiving alone, and you know what? It was fine. It was just another normal day. I kind of just did my own thing. I was growing up. I always heard the stories of like, oh, Thanksgiving. Oh, they got drive-through. That was me this year. And yeah, that was running through my head. I got McDonald's. But it is what it is, you know. I'm not asking for pity. I'm not asking for sympathy. I wouldn't even
pity you for your choice in pickup food,
but nothing else was open. I was gonna go for Wendy's. But
I still would have pitied you, but okay.
I was gonna get a Baconator, like
yes.
I love Baconators.
Yes.
But like they were closed. Burger King, like McDonald's, was literally the only place open, so I had no choice.
My sympathy.
There's always a choice when it comes to that dumpster food. I'm sorry.
I don't honestly, you could have gone for Indian. They're always open.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to fast food, I tend to avoid McDonald's because McDonald's burgers are honestly kind of bland. Like Wendy's has flavor. Burger King,
they do.
I know I don't like Burger King because they're a little bit greasy, but at least they have flavor. McDonald's food barely has flavor. Wendy's is really freaking good. I do a lot of Taco Bell because they're cheap and their food is actually kind of good. But yeah. But anyway, getting back to the black pill Christmas.
So more complaints that I have. This is I don't know, probably a little bit more specific to me because of my specific disability. I don't like winter activities.
Me neither.
I don't like being outside in the cold. I don't like ice skating.
God damn it, Parrot, you son of a bitch.
What?
Sorry, he sent me something on Twitter. Oh my god. Okay, all right. I'm like, no.
Is it Nick's and I freezing our S's off?
No, this is bad. I have to share this real quick. God damn it, Parrot! What the fuck are you done?
Dragged into this weird ass shit.
Apparently I'm a sweet transvestite
from
Transylvania.
No, if you're gonna do it, you're like, I'm just a sweet transvestite, some transsexual from Transylvania. You got to do the hip movements.
God. Tim Curry, man.
I love him so much. I love Tim Curry so much.
I mean, honestly, my favorite line to ever come from Tim Curry will always be, "I will go to the one place that hasn't been."
Oh my God! I just started to look up that one. No, Sharon, shut up.
What?
I was literally about to look up that exact clip. I was literally going to YouTube to get that exact clip.
Oh, damn it. What was the quote?
Oh.
Give it a sec.
All right.
It's one of his best pieces of work. I love it.
All right.
Yeah, red alert.
Command and Conquer.
Can we hear it?
One place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
You can hear it, right?
Yep.
Space.
See, what I love about it is, like, you can tell right before he says space, he's trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
According to the inside story, that was actually his first take. And he was losing it so badly that he took the one take. He's like, here. They're like, don't you want to do other takes? He's like, no, I'm not going to keep a straight face with this. That's one you're going to get.
I mean, like, because of you, I'm going to go to the one place uncorrupted by capitalism. Space! Like, even I had a trouble keeping a straight face.
Man.
Like, have you played? I think that's one of the Command and Conquer games.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
it has like George
Red Alert
Takei
3.
as like the Japanese emperor, and like the reward is like Japanese babes or something. Like that game.
Nice.
Wild.
Ikuzo!
Oh my god. So bad. Anyway,
Back-
talking about
Back to the
Christmas
Black
stuff.
Pills.
Yeah.
But so you'd think being Canadian, oh well, you should love ice skate. No, I hate it. I am very unbalanced as is because of my disability. You put me on ice, someone's gonna get hurt. There was this one time our local skating arena had this costume skate. I was Queen Amidala.
Ooh.
It was like a Halloween thing, right? So I was Queen Amidala because that's what was kind of sort of current at the time.
So what you're saying
And
is no.
I ended up with
Nick,
a skate in my back.
Nick, so what you're saying is you hate ice. It's cold. It's slippery. It gets everywhere.
It's not like you. No, dude. I definitely I can sympathize with you, Nix. So I hate winter. I almost froze to death once. I got saved by a concentration camp survivor. She knew what frostbite looked like. So apparently I didn't know this, but when you get frostbite, if you walk directly in from the cold, whatever is frostbitten explodes like a gag cigar.
Jesus.
Yeah, and this woman knew, and she put my hands and feet in buckets of freezing water, but my nose and my ears were not in the water. So when I came into her house, I just looked at her, and it looked like somebody took a paintbrush and just flecked red at her. Like she flinched, and then I was like, "What the hell just happened?" She's like, "Oh my god!" Like bandaging, like so the tips of my ears and my nose seems to have cleared up. Like I don't have any scars or anything, but the tips of my ears have these like weird scar lines on them from when the ice crystals exploded on the tips of them.
Chris, can you confirm or deny what Parrot is saying?
It's when was it a skin flute?
You know us adults, we call those vaginas, right?
The brown trombone? What?
No, skin flute.
We're walking
and
we're walking.
Yeah.
The skin flute is the penis. Get it right because you play it.
Yeah.
God, your euphemism's correct.
What?
Yeah, the only instrument that I knew how to play was I knew how to flick the bean.
What?
Like the cold at Christmas is because my veins are actually, because of another completely unrelated condition, are closer to the surface of my skin than most people. Do you know what that means for me?
It means you get cold quick.
It means, oh yeah, weather is a pain in the behind.
Oof.
I could get frostbite faster than anyone else, and we'd never know because it also causes this weird little blotches on my skin.
Oh.
And see, I'm on the opposite end of that. Heat absolutely does me in almost instantly. And
oh my
sun
god,
does
I'm
me
the
in
same
because of
way.
the albino issues and all that shit. So I literally, part of why I dye my hair is not because I'm trying to make myself redhead, because I am. It's literally because I'm so sensitive to the sun that if the sun hits my hair for more than a few minutes, it actually starts splotching and turning into freaking calico because it's sun melting.
Jeez.
Damn.
I'm the same way, Eagle. Like I myself am warm natured. Like it can be 30 degrees outside, and all I got on is like a leather jacket, and I'm like
so jealous.
and it's like, yeah, I feel the cold. But like, yeah, I'm fine.
I mean, that's the same thing with me. I run hot blooded as a mofo, and so
I'm gonna flex
summertime
here.
is miserable, but wintertime.
By the way,
that's my season.
I walked a few blocks down the street to grab a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It's 30. The high today was 35. You want to know the only thing I wore? Literally this hoodie.
Jeez.
See, I'll drive around in clothes like this in winter with the windows down, tracking eagles. So,
Jesus.
I mean, it's the high for me today is like 22, and I literally walked around in like a long sleeve button up and a waistcoat.
I mean, people who
Not
grew
even a
up in
jacket.
colder climates are used to it. Like, like for example,
with the exception of medical reasons, like Nick's, there. Let's be understanding of that. There's medical reason Nick's can't do that, and I absolutely feel for that. You know, I'm not going to sit there and make fun of that at all.
See,
but I mean, most of us who grew up in those climates, we get very used to it. You know.
See, like, yeah, but on the flip side, here in Michigan in the summer, it can get like 90 to 100 degrees in the summer. Mm-hmm. And like when it gets to heat, I just like I'm vulnerable to heat stroke, and like I just like lose all my energy in the hot
really?
sun.
Ooh.
The highs and lows where I grew up that I've witnessed is around -60 and 124.
Jesus, it's blood boiling, literally.
The Black Hills actually were through this big survey they did of the entire continent and all the weather patterns and stuff, declared the most rapid changing and most extreme high and low place on the continent.
It's like desert.
Yeah.
So it's a high altitude mountain range next to a painted desert. Yeah. And it's so up and down. It's
here
insane.
In Michigan, the worst it gets in terms of cold is in the depths of winter at night. It can get down to like -1, -2. Like that's about as bad as it gets. And yeah, I've been out like where it's like -1, -2, and it's
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it hurts to breathe in. You start coughing. Your nose hairs start freezing.
And
we've had that multiple times here.
Yeah.
Here in the summer, it doesn't really get any higher than like usually get like 100, 101, 105 at the very, very top end. Like that's as high as it goes in the summer in Michigan. Usually it's like 80, 90 in the summer here. So
nice.
Not the worst, but going from like -1 in like the depths of winter to like 90 to 100 in summer can be a bit
yeah.
But
anyway,
tell people what it feels like to be in like -50 weather. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I'd love to be able...
my experience with Christmas, it's always been a bit of a mixed bag. So the problem I have is Christmas is a family holiday, and I've always had a rocky relationship with my family. I'm not going to spill tea here or anything, but like, so like, honestly, the thing that I have the biggest grievance with is the freaking commercials, and it's twofold. The problem with Christmas commercials is it's always like family happy doing the thing, and as a person who has a rocky relationship with the family, it feels like a slap in the face every time I see those commercials because it feels like they're mocking me with what I want but I can't have.
That's why I hate Mother's Day. That's why I hate Mother's Day with my
the other commercial, and if I could actually ban a type of commercial, would be the fucking diamond commercials.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Most overrated trash gems on earth anyways. I mean,
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're completely right, Eagle. The message, I just hate the message where it's like, oh, you want to make your girl love you? Give her diamonds. And I'm like, I'll give my girl an engagement ring and like maybe a few things for like anniversary, but she's not getting flooded with jewels. No.
I mean,
I'm going to speak as somebody who's been married almost 18 years and been in a relationship over 20. I don't give a crap about people giving me jewelry. Just crap's sakes, I'll make my own. Just
like
freaking give me art supplies and digital stuff for my cameras. That's all I want.
Like literally someone could give you a really fancy glue gun and that would be more to you than a diamond ring.
Yes. Or anything that helps my cameras or my stream work. You know?
Or like literally if someone's like, so I can buy you this like really nice ring for $2,000, or I can buy you this camera. You'd be like, buy me the freaking camera.
Yeah.
Now, as somebody who eventually wants to have a life partner, if it came to the engagement ring, I wouldn't go for a diamond. I'd probably go for one of the sapphires, which, by the way, just as a fun fact, sapphire is not specifically for the blue one. It is a subcategory of semi-precious stone.
What is it? A coriander? No, what the heck?
Well, most
corundum.
of these gemstones are known as this gemstone for this color, and that's actually rarely true. Most gemstones have multiple colors for everyone. Rubies do, emeralds do, all of them. They're not just one color. That's the most common and most known color of them.
Yeah, actually, honestly, the three that you just mentioned are all the same thing as sapphire. Ruby,
ruby, sapphire.
Yeah, they're probably the same. There's probably the same classification.
Like
exactly.
honestly,
like,
I'd be more apt to give my girl her
turquoise
birthstone.
Is not all blue, you know.
Like I'd be more apt to give my girl her birthstone or something. You know?
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
again, that would be for an engagement ring. If I'm thinking of a gift for my life partner, it's not going to be jewels. It might be flowers depending upon the occasion, but it's going to be something that she can use, something that she'll appreciate on a regular occasion.
Flowers. That smells like you wasted $50 to $100. I mean, sorry, I'm not your normal chick.
I mean,
honestly, I'd rather waste money on
depends on the
flowers than
occasion.
diamonds.
It's not like a
the whole flowers thing gets to me too, because like, great, you spend a fortune to buy these flowers that aren't even that big, that'll last a few days, and they're pumped full of chemicals that make the house stink anyways. And like, just freaking pick some flowers in your yard and go buy her something meaningful, for crap's sake.
The thing is, flowers are usually not expensive. Like and plus a lot of it is you send like let's say for the anniversary, you send flowers to your girl at her work. You know, like I'm sure that
you're not doing that to give her a gift. You're doing that to show off that she gets gifts to her coworkers.
And you know what? She probably would enjoy that. She gets to show like, look how much he showed me. He spent like $50 to $100 on these, and if you can afford it, go ahead. Like, I'm not gonna knock someone for sending flowers. I think diamonds are a bit of like, but flowers at least have their place. They look really nice. They smell nice, and yeah, you can have those moments. Like, so I'm a little more tolerant of flowers.
I'm not saying either is bad if that's what the woman wants. And flowers definitely aren't as big of a waste of money as diamonds, but it's just one of those things. I look at it and all I think is that's a lot of money for a few days of a smell that's not even that great usually.
Well, honestly, you could say that about a lot of things. So it's all justified by the person.
There's this whole thing where if it's the right jewelry, you get a good deal. You're spending around the same price as a thing of flowers. At that point, I'd pick the jewelry because at least it lasts longer.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. All I'm saying is it really depends on the occasion, and everything else is like, I'd actually go for something that would be, like you said, more useful, more long lasting, that kind of deal.
See, the problem
art supplies. You can't go wrong with women like me with art supplies.
See,
or power tools.
Fair.
See, the problem is, up until about, I'd say, a generation or two ago, all jewelry was handed down. You know, the family jewels. You know, so like the family always had.
I think something else when I think family jewels, but go on.
I know what you're thinking of, and shame on you.
No shame, none.
But like the family diamonds, I'm probably not helping my case, but
yeah, you're digging yourself deeper, bud.
When in doubt, declare banana and move on. I declare banana. So
sorry, I completely ruined your point. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I brought you here. I knew the consequences. But here's something that I think, like we're talking about this in the pre-show, Eagle, is for the people who have a birthday in December, we get double screwed. God. So my birthday is coming up. It is December 14th. I'm gonna be 36. Oh dear God. And Eagle.
Bite me, I'm turning 40 next month.
Don't threaten me with a good time, girl.
It's not just the same month, which gets you some ignorance, and there's always those people who want to try to cheap you on gifts because that's at the same time anyways. We'll just give you one and label it for both. And half the time the one they give you isn't even as good as the shit they give everyone else anyways. It's like, what? But it's also, my birthday is in between two holidays, one of which I like. I like Christmas. I'm fine with that. One of which is my trauma day, which is the changing of the year, the changing of the calendar. There's a reason I don't say the holiday name. I can't celebrate my birthday most of the time because nobody will shut up about that holiday right after it, no matter if you tell them that you have post-traumatic issues connected to it or not. So I literally have to go in hiding most years. So I had no birthday to speak of growing up. Nobody cared. Nobody notices. Everyone's on school breaks. Everyone's out traveling. Nobody cares. Nobody notices each other at that time. And now as an adult, I can't deal with it. I can't handle it because nobody will respect that I can't talk about the holiday after. No, they're going to bring it. They're going to make me hear about it. And so I'm very used to being ignored for my birthdays. I'm
sorry. Like in all fairness, the week between Christmas and the other holiday, I'm trying to respect the trauma. Is always really awkward. And yeah.
There's the other awkward part about my birthday, which is that I am literally from the survivor line of the people who got away at Wounded Knee. I was born on the anniversary of the slaughter. Ouch. So there's that. So there's that. There's a bit of a painful family reminder that goes with it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, I am in a very similar situation, although mine is the next month. Because
January birthdays, they get it almost as bad, in my opinion.
Well, no, February.
Ooh.
I'm a February birthday, and so I am right after Valentine's Day.
If it makes you feel better, one of the people I stream with is a leap year baby.
Oh damn!
He's only I was almost one birthday every 4 years.
I mean, honestly, I was supposed to be a leap year baby, but I decided, nah, I'm doing this now.
All right, Eagle. I gotta pick your brain for a moment. So one thing I've always wondered about leap year people, how does like drinking age and like driver's license, how does that all stuff work?
It usually is just rolled over. In other words, if you were born on the 29th, if it's not a leap year, they'll count it to the 1st of March. But when it comes to other people and how they interact with them, it's always, oh, you only have one birthday. Because it's not your birthday. Your birthday wasn't today. It's not yesterday. It's not tomorrow. Your birthday's already gone because it doesn't exist this year. And I've seen people do that to people with it.
Yeah, but it's kind of a neat party thing. It's like, hey, I'm 4 years old or whatever. And they're like, wait, you're a grown ass man. How could you be 4 years old? It's like, I was born on a leap year. Like, oh. But another thing I wanted to touch upon in regards to this is honestly the music. That is such a big thing to unpack. The problem I have with Christmas music is I generally do like it. Obviously, the overplayed stuff, we'll get to that. But like that's the whole like the thing is, it feels like Christmas music is stuck in the 70s and the like 50s. Like really the 50s and the 60s with like a smidgen of like the 70s and 80s, but there's like hardly anything enters the Christmas canon after 1990, it seems.
Yeah, the Mariah Carey.
You need to start delving deeper into the metal genres we listen to. Tarja's done 3 different Christmas albums and all kinds of stuff like that.
I'm not saying that there hasn't been like Christmas
albums. Yeah, but there's
albums.
No classics.
No, what I mean is the whole Christmas canon is like the staple Christmas tunes. The last one to enter was really Mariah Carey's. That's why you have so many people who are Christmas albums for even Jewish people put out Christmas albums. Like,
yep.
I remember Bette Midler put out a Christmas album, and she was on like a talk show. She's like, "You're Jewish. What are you doing a Christmas album for?" We all know money. But like,
I mean, when it comes to the Christmas songs, Mariah Carey gets way overplayed,
Yeah,
and
she
you
does.
never see any of the original crooners who made Christmas songs as popular as they are anymore. You don't hear
you still see
Bing,
them. It's just
you don't hear Nat King Cole. You know, you don't hear.
Well, that's the 50s, 60s.
I don't listen to what anybody else plays, so maybe I just don't have that problem because I've never listened to radio. I don't go out and shop much and stuff like that. It's always when it comes to pick, so
yeah, when it comes to my own home, I have those guys on CD and on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like out and about. You always hear the covers of those guys, but you never hear them.
I don't get a lot of that
like,
experience.
My experience is different
most of the time. So
because my local radio station that plays Christmas tunes, they play the originals. Like
the 50s and 60s stuff.
Yeah, like you'll hear Eartha Kitt do Santa Baby, which I think is a very underrated performance of that song.
I hate that song, even though I love her. I hate that song so much.
I do think she does a great performance. Like
she did a good performance of it, but I detest that song with a passion.
It's basically a MILF song. It is every 38-year-old wine mom's favorite Christmas song. Like, because like mommy wants to have an affair with Santa Claus. And by Santa Claus, we mean Bob the bartender.
No, actually, they don't. That's a scary thing. There is a fetish for Santa that's really creepy.
Santa fetish.
It is.
Isn't that like a gay bear thing?
I don't want to go into this one too deep. The other reason
we're gonna brown pill this one.
The other reason I hate that freaking song is I hate all the songs where it's literally people lusting after somebody that's supposed to be married. Because that to me is absolutely creepy and not positive.
Oh
like,
yeah,
for
that
example,
makes a lot of sense.
I saw mommy kissing Santa.
Yeah.
At least that song out in Innocent, it was, you could tell through the song and the lyrics, it was just Daddy dressed up as him.
Yeah.
At least that one was at least innocent and it was the couple.
Well, whenever I think of Christmas music, though, for me, or at least in what was the Carpenters, like, I'm sorry, but Karen Carpenter had one of the greatest voices I've ever heard in a singer. Like, she would put today's singers to shame.
Well, I mean, really, any singer pre-1990.
Yeah, before auto-tune.
Yeah.
Like, have you
that I would agree in the pop line. I wouldn't agree with all of them because
like even like the crappy like for example Tiffany was as manufactured a pop star as Britney Spears, Dua Lipa. But the thing is, she came up in an era without autotune. So just like Tiffany was a more talented singer than all. If you get Tiffany in her prime and you have her go against Dua Lipa, she would wipe the floor.
Well, she also made her name by singing in malls. Like, so there weren't even studios to master a lot of her music. So it was her voice. Like, she was literally a concert in a mall, and we all know how shitty the acoustics are in a mall.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's where the How I Met Your Mother got their bit.
Yeah, dude. I was alive when I was a kid, and I remember how big Tiffany was in 87, 88. She was the queen of the airwaves.
Like, do you remember when they did
I'd rather listen to her than Madonna, so I was happy when they played her.
Do you remember the story with like the Jetsons movie? Like, they actually had the original Judy Jetson reprise her role, and like the songs are being sung by Tiffany, but like the manager basically strong armed.
I have it.
So basically, Tiffany voiced Judy Jetson, but originally it's supposed to be the original voice actress.
Oh wow!
Now,
I didn't know that.
One of the things that I miss a lot about some of the old days is some of the comedy Christmas songs.
Negativity.
I've got a collection.
Guys, next stream. I get what you want to say, but like I'm trying to keep this. We're gonna do the positive next stream.
Does anyone remember that whole controversy that arose with "Baby It's Cold Outside"?
Yes.
Oh my!
It was the stupidest thing ever.
Did you ever see the comedian that read he's like, I'm going to read you two songs, one that didn't get any controversy, and "Baby It's Cold Outside" that did get, and he's like reading the lines to "Baby It's Cold Outside," And then he's like, and this is the #1 chart-topping song, Wet Ass Pussy. And he's like reading it. It's like the nastiest lyrics.
Again, it's a song I never liked. I did find lines in it creepy, but the whole controversy and people throwing a fit and trying to ban it just irritated me.
See the problem.
My opinion with my history, I didn't like it. I find it creepy. I don't want people to tell them to agree with that. I don't want people to ban it. I don't want people to throw this huge tantrum. Why can't we just agree to disagree once in a freaking blue moon in this culture?
The problem with Maybe It's Cold Outside kind of harkens back to women want to be seduced. Women want, the whole thing. It's a back and forth. But really the problem can be boiled down to one line. Maybe there's something in this drink.
What did you put in my drink?
Bippity boppity, you're not my property.
What did you put in my drink?
But
But here's the thing.
I'm sorry, that's creepy.
She's being coy.
Yeah, she's being coy. And I will admit this could be an interpretation thing. But the way that I interpret those lyrics is she's trying to be like, oh, like this is really strong liquor. You put something in my drink, that's why I'm doing it. So it's more her making an excuse rather than an accusation. That's just
because it came out in a time where girls, people talk, oh, well, she spent the night with so and so, and she's trying to play it off. Well, he's trying to be like, girl, it's cold. There's a blizzard.
I missed
Stay the night.
But that's the point I was getting at, is asking what's in the drink the way they did in the phrasing bothers me, and maybe that's partly because of A, the work I do with victims, and B, the things I've been through myself. But that line bothers me. It always has. Again, I don't want it canceled. I don't want this big controversy. I have that issue. I don't listen to it. It's not a big deal to me. It's like if people read half the and I write, they'd probably be much more offended. And
I do like the song because it's a nice duet.
Disagree?
Like it's a nice duet song. You get two people together, they sing it. I'll play. By the way, after my favorite version is between Lady Gaga and Zach.
I can't stand her.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where Lady Gaga is actually playing the male part and Levitt is playing the female part.
I hate that woman. Blah blah.
No, Nick just nailed it. Like, dude, swap the sexes of the singers, and suddenly it's not a rapey song anymore.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell? If you can swap the singers,
concept, because I know too many guys. I actually know guys who have been.
But the point is, these same freaking bleeding heart Karens that are flipping out over this song would suddenly see an empowerment song.
It's not necessarily that the tone of the lyrics has changed, and the people who normally see it, like yourself, would not change that. It's the public perception of the song that shifts. Because if it's between the typical version, everybody's losing their mind, but as soon as the genders flip, the public perception is like, oh, this is just normal.
Oh, did you
this
see
is funny.
Yeah,
some white bread couple tried to make a politically correct version, and it was boring as hell.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense either. It's like, I have to get something like, I really must go. Here's your jacket or something. It's like, wait, what? You're like pushing the person out of your house. Like,
it's a blizzard. Take care out there. Don't get lost in the snow.
Like the whole point is
take a flare.
Song, it's a very coy back and forth. It's a battle, so to speak. It's like girl wants to stay, but society, like, I don't know. I like the song because there's layers to it. It's just kind of a fun back and forth.
Idina Menzel and Michael Bublé actually make it really, like, they get the tone of it right, but there's more. They've got more of an.
Oh my god, that is a duet match made in heaven. Dear God, those two people.
They are like, oh my god! Ever since I heard it, I was like, yeah, that's the version I like. They're both playing into that coy energy.
Yeah, and their voices just match up so well together. Like they both have those like classic voices. And besides,
and you can hear them giggling at each other in it.
I don't know why. What's her name? What's her name again?
Idina Menzel.
Indina. I don't know why she's so concerned, because we all know the cold doesn't bother her anyway.
Yeah. Let it go.
Sorry, that was going to be in there somewhere. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like there's this perpetual nostalgia to Christmas, which I get it, but like it feels like it goes too far sometimes. Like it's hard to move forward with Christmas to a degree. I don't know. It feels like we're Christmas is constantly stuck 20 to 30 years in the past. I don't know.
Well, that's because that was when Christmas was good. The modernity wants to get rid of Christianity. They want to get rid of all that crap. And again, I'm saying this as a Jew. Like, I miss going through my hometown when I was a kid and seeing the Christmas decorations up on the street lamps and at the grocery store and hearing Christmas music and having people like carolers and all that shit.
You want to talk about the Christmas lights? The problem with Christmas lights is people go overboard. People just go overboard.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, you see them from orbit.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Some of those displays, you probably see them from orbit. I would not be surprised. And people go overboard, and it's just too much. And it's causing problems.
See, I don't even mind a lot of lights or stuff, but make it look classy, make it make sense. A lot of these people, they just throw so much stuff out at once that doesn't even go together.
No,
the power companies love Christmas. They love that.
It looks like Christmas vomited on their lawns and house. And there's no logic to it. I've seen houses that go over the top like that, but everything's themed together. The colors play off each other. They have the characters walking here to approach the trains here, stuff like that. And it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen houses where it literally just looks like Santa and Christmas vomited on the lawn until there's enough space.
Like
fruitcake diarrhea.
To be totally honest, I love the winter aesthetic. You know, like snow falling, or like honestly, like one of the most beautiful things ever is you have a frozen lake, and you're walking up to a cabin, like a nice log cabin. You got like you know, you got the fire, like fire crackling. Yeah, I love the winter aesthetic, and like the lighting is really nice because like it glows off of the snow. You get kind of that haze. That, like as an artist, it's just mwah.
Yeah.
There's just something weirdly warm about, and this is something I've noticed especially too. There's something I feel there's like a weird sort of warmth to vintage, quote unquote, vintage Christmas look as opposed to the more modern Christmas. Like you see on those old postcards and stuff, everything, you know, they've got nice warm glow to it. And that's, I think, the only way I can really play it. That's why it's so nostalgic. That's why everyone's so stuck in the past with the way it looks and sounds, because there's a warmth to it that modern Christmas stuff just doesn't have anymore.
Guys, I have to do this.
Roasting
on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
You gotta get the martini glass in there.
Another song I can't stand. So
I mean, I can't sing much.
But I can Grinch. What do you want?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
See,
the thing is,
you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Most Christmas songs are sung in like bassy baritone, which is actually more my range. So, like, you know, I can actually sing a lot of Christmas songs pretty well. So.
Whereas I tread on the line with soprano and can do some of the deeper notes, but I can't do the bassy stuff and stuff like that. And I can't. I really can't.
I don't really care that Christmas has its roots in a specific religion because honestly, and I'm not, my family is not at all Christian or Catholic or whatever. We're pretty much staunch atheists. Exactly. See, there's like a warmth to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can't really explain it as anything other than warm. When you see it, you feel cozy. You feel.
And I mean, honestly, if
not packing,
many times,
need to leave here. Let's get packing. Sorry.
I don't like. I mean, yeah, I associate Christmas with like the nativity, with Jesus, with like all these Christian songs, but I don't really.
Oh, you want to talk about vintage Nicks? Like this one, yeah.
I don't know. I just I don't associate Christmas with Christianity.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's its own thing to me.
Like,
yeah, it's got some of the iconography, but like.
Oh my freaking god! My parents, I think they actually still have you see this, like
The
this
communist
like
trees.
the ceramic trees.
Oh yeah.
I think my parents literally still have this.
Nice.
My grandmother
Sorry,
had
poor
a
memory
set
unlock.
had a set of lights that would gently sing lullabies, like you hear the melody. We still have those. Those are old as sin, and you can tell because they've got that kind of not white but like beige kind of light.
Yeah, and
The warm.
honestly, if you want to take, all the Christmas decorations and the colors that we associate it with all the way back to their source, it's a lot more closely related to the Nordic Yule holiday.
Well,
Yeah.
it is Yule.
To
It
the
is.
original Christian celebration of Christ's birthday.
No, that's what Christmas or modern Christmas is. They hijacked Yule and Saturnalia, combined them into because Christ wasn't born in December.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he was.
Well, no.
July or something.
There's scholars that disagree on when it would have been, but from most likely based on when taxes were usually done in the region and the time would have been September to October.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But like, yeah, like I've learned all about the Yule stuff, the Yule log. The reason why they bring the evergreen trees and
Is
evergreenery.
that German? I thought the Christmas tree was a German tradition. That was
The Tannenbaum.
Yeah, because like I remember reading. I remember in school, like Christmas trees were introduced to America through the Germans.
Yep.
That's how.
After World War I.
Yep. But the Germans did, because they did exchange a lot with the Nords.
They were Nords.
Partly.
Well,
Denmark
Germanic
were
is-
Nordic.
A
Germans were
certain
Germanic.
chancellor will disagree with you.
No, jawohl. No, the Germanic people are a result of the Celtic the Celtic people of the region and the Nords colliding. I mean, you have the Lombards, you have the Franks, like all of these people, they all share the same Germanic history or the same Scandinavian history if you go far enough back.
I mean, fair enough. But I mean, even like the Garlands were also like specifically Viking.
Yeah, do you know what a garland was? Do you know what the origin of garland is? It's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. Garland was they would disembowel a prisoner and stick their intestines at the top of a tree and force them to walk around the tree as they unraveled their intestines until they died.
How did I know it was going to be something to do with intestines?
Well, because he said Vikings.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. I was kind of off in La La Land, and then all of a sudden I hear, you want to know
I gotta say,
that like intestines.
That takes guts.
And technically, the only reason I know
lowest
that,
form of comedy.
yeah, and
And
technically
stay
the
for the
only
smile.
reason I know that is because both of my parents are practicing Vikings. Well,
They literally get their long ships and raid the coast.
Zach.
if they had the money and the access to the coast, yeah, they actually would.
Dude,
oh my god! Now I want to fund them. I want to just give them like a giant pile of cat and say, "Have fun."
Yeah.
my need for chaos and desires to be fed.
God.
Oh, continue, Sharon.
Oh no, it's. I mean, honestly, that's. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have actually rolled back these days. Instead of practicing Christmas, a lot of people now are, especially a lot of the people who have Germanic or specifically Norwegian heritage, they've stopped celebrating Christmas and they started celebrating Yule again.
Skål.
Yeah, that's kind of something we've been seeing, I think, in the past 20 years, is kind of a rejection of Christmas as a whole. Like that's why Festivus like really came about. It was literally a Seinfeld episode.
Yep.
But it actually caught on, and it's actually somewhat celebrated now. But the other thing is, like, we're seeing a rise, like paganism has really risen in this past 10 years as like as an kind of another a legitimate alternative to Christianity for a lot of people, and their tradition associated with that. I mean, I'm all for people finding religion. I don't care what.
Another thing
as long
that's
as it's
risen
my
in that is misunderstanding which religions are which. Am I the only one who doesn't like that they use terms like heathen, pagan, and all these and try to lump it to entire swaths of religions when they came from very specific ones.
Yeah. Well, pagan, I believe, literally, like, it's from the Romans, and it means anything prior to Romanic Roman religion.
It was from the Romans. However, they used it as a term to describe a very specific sect of culture of their enemies, as calling it prior to them and basically saying savage. And so I do have a problem when people take that term, which was adapted towards the Celtic region and the Nordic region, and they start throwing it around towards native cultures and stuff like that. It's like, no, we're not the same.
Oh, I'm just going off of like the various people.
I'm not saying he did. I'm saying that this is something I've dealt with a lot, and am I the only one that irritates the shit out of me?
I don't know,
like,
because
that's not my culture. It's like the people who try to call medicine men shaman. It's like, that's Eastern. That's mysticism. We're not the same.
I mean, honestly, if I were to go back to tradition, I'd be the one that would be more likely to be called pagan than you ever would. Because Germanic, Polish, Norwegian, English,
Irish. I'm Irish, laddies.
Yes and no. My mom is mostly Irish and has a little bit of the German and Norwegian and stuff mixed in her. So I have that side. So yes and no.
but my thing is like, to go back to what Nick was saying about how Christmas was stuck in the 70s or 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's why, is because that was when it was good. And now we're seeing all this dissolution and removal of like the good stuff. Like, you know, because we've had all that garbage in our culture in the last 20 years to try to push everybody apart and divide them into special little victim groups. But like back in the day when I was younger, man, and again, you know, we joke about it, like the opening to Ted where everybody beat up the Jewish kid. Like, you know, Christmas was Christmas, and it didn't matter what your religion was. It was a feeling. It was a moment of time, and it was something that we all liked. Maybe because it heralded Christmas vacation, maybe because people got presents. I don't know, but like we lost that. You know, we don't have that.
It was the one day of the year where mommy and daddy didn't scream at each other.
It was the day of the year that daddy didn't beat us with the belt. I mean,
damn.
Sorry, that was not about my dad. That was just taking the dark shot while I had the chance.
but like I look back on it, and I joked about that black pill moment, but like it's so true. Like as you get old, like you know, my parents, they're on their way out. Like they're never going to be celebrating Christmas anymore. They're in a home. You know,
the other thing that I think is missing that, you know, leaves Christmas being stuck forever in basically the 50s to 70s is people forgot that Christmas is a two-way street. When you're a kid, you're the one who believes in Christmas. You're the one who makes it magical because you're so utterly convinced in this belief. And when they grow up, you're not supposed to continue believing in the magic. You're the one supposed to be creating the magic.
Yeah, you're supposed to, going back to what I was saying about like with kids, like we're not perpetuating that tank tread anymore. We're not renewing it. And that's why the last 20, 30 years, it's been a slow decline of that Christmas feeling because we stopped. We didn't do our part, essentially. Our parents did the part and our parents' parents did the part, but we're not doing it. And now our kids are getting screwed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and that's even if we're having, and that's even if we have kids in general.
Exactly.
Like that's the other big problem is birth rates are declining rapidly, and so many people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, it looks like Rose wanted to say something.
Go ahead.
Well, it was the one I was halfway through it.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was trying to say now.
Uh-oh.
Well, when you remember, remind me.
I won't. That's not how my brain works.
But like
it don't come back.
You know, the problem is like you said, the treads aren't getting replenished. We're seeing a rise in childless couples, and I'm not saying people are obligated to pop out babies. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, the world that we have created is not conducive to really bring children in the world. You know, like people either can't afford them, or they're not emotionally ready. There's a million reasons why people aren't having kids. All the legitimate
issue that most people don't want to talk about, which is with a lot of these meds and their side effects, with a lot of these issues people are having stuff with the rise in certain lifestyles and other things, the infertility rates, even of those who want kids, are skyrocketing compared to even when I was a child. And so a lot of us who want kids, we can't have them for one reason or another, something that we've been through, something that's happened to us, or other conditions we have. And those conditions were not as common in the old days.
Nope.
The infertility rate is much higher. And so I do get annoyed, and it's not saying that you said this, but these people who go, well, all these people who don't have kids are just selfish. It's like, well,
I mean, the other reason?
It's some, yes, but there's also, I would rather people don't have kids if they're too irresponsible to have them.
Well, the other big thing why infertility is on the rise is the people who do have kids are waiting longer to have them. Because it used to be people were popping out kids in their early to mid 20s. Then it kind of started to be late 20s. Now, some women, they're waiting until they're like their 30s to have kids, you know?
And that's biologically bad. Every year after 30, the chance of birth.
Like, sure, a guy can, like Al Pacino is 80 years old and he got a woman pregnant. Like, dear God. Yeah, guys can do that.
Even most guys can't. It's a rare percentage of guys who can really sire children after the age of 50.
But it's possible for women.
It is. One sec. Mid-sentence. It is possible for men to do that, where it is to women, you're going to hit menopause by your mid-50s no matter what. So you're not going to be popping kids out after 60.
Well,
but
it's possible for
men
a 75-year-old
doing
man.
it is very low.
It's possible for a 75-year-old man to have a child. The possibility of a 75-year-old woman getting pregnant is next to zero.
Yeah, well, it's women have a finite amount of eggs.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying that misnomer, they act like this is common for guys that age to be able to sire children, has also led a lot of men astray too, where they go, I have plenty of time. I can have kids much later than women. Most men are not going to be able to sire kids after the age of 50. Scientifically. They go infertile. And so bear that in mind. Also, that's another part of the fertility rate.
But
is this culture telling men, oh, you can wait. Just make sure you find a young woman.
But we're seeing
that's
more than just
usually.
Like my generation, the Gen Xers, we were lied to. I mean, we got fed the bullshit.
You got hosed.
No, we got fed the whole bullshit Malthusian, the world is overpopulated by the year 2000. Everybody's
they were still pushing that when I came around in the early millennial generation.
My generation,
same here.
The Gen Xers, we're like the opposite of the baby boomers. We're the negative boomers. Like we've actually had a lot fewer kids. And now we're looking at these infertilities from all the chemical poisoning, all of this other stuff, like all the mental readiness, like all of these things combined, and we're looking at like population crises. Like we all joke about or talk about Japan, where they're having such a population problem because they have an aging. Italy is worse.
All over the place.
Yeah, Italy has a negative 37% population growth.
And the thing is, and I get.
I will say for Japan's sake, a lot of it is the Asian cultures where like sex is kind of demonized and whatnot. Like Italy, I have no explanation for. But go ahead, Eagle.
As I was trying to say, I get the whole you don't want to overtax things. You don't want to have a kid if you don't have the resources to take care of it. These are the things I actually do understand. But I was 15 when I found out I couldn't have kids, and I even had the doctors tell me the infertility rate, even in teenage girls, is going up with a lot of these modern meds and with a lot of these birth controls and stuff. And you've got parents who are so paranoid. They don't want a kid out of wedlock. They don't want a kid when their kid's a teenager. That they're putting these girls on birth controls at the age of like 12 to 14, even if they're not sexually active. And it's destroying their fertility. So even if you take aside, like mine came from a reaction to a tainted shot. And you put that aside, even if you put those kinds of cases aside, they're literally causing infertility in their own children because they're afraid to be grandparents.
Well, and mental illness. The orthotricycline, for example, has been linked to several forms of neuroses in young girls. There was a Aidan Paladin research video on it, and it was absolutely terrifying. You get these 12-year-old girls, and they're, they got screwed for life now.
I mean, that could explain why
so
the
much
epidemic
damage
of mentally unstable women, you know, like the whole thing of the past 10 years, like that could explain a lot. Because now Eagle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say, and feel free to call bullshit on this. I feel like women's behavior is regulated a lot more by hormones than it is men. So like,
yes and no, complicated.
Okay.
With women, we do have more types of endorphins, more hormones, and more types of hormones. That's necessary in fertility, and that's necessary in reproduction. So we do have scientifically more emotions. But that doesn't mean we're going to necessarily be ruled by them. It does, however, mean that we do have a higher rate of mental illness and always have. So there is some truth to that. The over exaggeration and acting like every woman's psycho, every woman's insane, and all that stuff, or that men aren't emotional and men don't do this also. That's where I have the problem. That's where it's not factual. But
so in other words,
more mental issues and more emotions scientifically.
So in other words, bitches be crazy.
Jesus.
Sorry, I was waiting to tell that joke. I was waiting.
And
you're talking to one of the craziest ones of all. Want to fucking try?
I like to play with fire. What can I say?
That's why you like redheads. I keep telling people, and I'm trying to censor this because I already slipped and said it again once, that the difference.
I am literally the Phoenix. So
the difference between blondes and redheads is that redheads are blondes who haven't had the fire screwed out of them yet. So
see, if you break up with a blonde, she'll throw all your shit onto the lawn. If you break up with a redhead, not only will she throw your shit on the lawn, she'll set it on fire.
No. You don't throw it on the lawn and set it on fire. That could damage your house. You bonfire that shit.
I love them.
Yeah, the only thing not burned is the stuff in the front lawn. The house is burned down.
Chris, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like Gen Xers are starting to act like boomers. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the Gen X memes. They're baby boomer memes. They're literally baby boomer memes. Like Gen X is starting to act like baby boomers. Like, our generation was the best generation ever.
Well, that's also just the generational perception.
It's a generational thing. We shift as we go on. But I have to show this because he's sitting here talking about Christmas so much here, and I'm sorting these pictures, working on my book, and this is the one I just hit. Is there? He was talking about loving the aesthetic of Christmas. So,
ooh, nice.
But
Snowball, it has this effect. It's something magical, and the fact that it's the Eagles just adds to it. But
nice.
Like, honestly, when I think of like perfection, like my favorite thing ever is, let's say I'm inside. I got a nice glass window going. There's like the snowfall outside. It's either night or it's day or whatever. And there's a nice kind of fire going in the corner. I can hear it crackling. I got the heat. We've got a nice blanket kind of going. Maybe some nice music going on. That to me is as close to heaven as I could possibly get.
What you're saying is you're incredibly corny.
Oh no!
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
My ideal of paradise would be living in one of those bungalows in Bora Bora, tropic beach. We got that little house on the stilts above the seawater.
I mean,
liar.
Where you can show and deal with. There's something about part of what I love about eagles is they are a winter bird. They don't like the heat. They'll go to sometimes they'll stay in the places over summer and stuff, but they prefer, as a species, cold climate, snow. They like to fish on ice. They like to do all this stuff. And there's something magical about the interaction with these powerful birds and the snow and the ice and the cold. There's something truly beautiful about it.
Yeah. I mean, also the thing for me is it's like any fight scene, there's two weather conditions you can do to make a fight scene even more awesome. Rain or snow. Like, how many times have we seen like samurai fight scenes in the snow?
Kill Bill.
Well, actually, I'm gonna go. This is probably gonna be copyright struck, but at this point, I don't care. You guys talk for a second.
Well,
I didn't do it. I'm innocent, and that's all I care. Anyway. No, it's I. Sorry about. Ticks. Sorry.
Yeah, someone else talk.
Well, what I was trying to get across a little bit earlier was, oh shit, what was I trying to tell? You guys have derailed me so many.
I know.
Derailed me so many times. I've actually officially lost the train.
Like we're talking about, like this is what I was talking about.
Oh, fucking Sucker Punch. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like this movie.
This is a celebration of style over substance.
I've never even watched the movie, but I do actually like how they did the songs in the soundtrack.
I felt punished for watching this movie.
But I was talking about like winter and fight scenes. Just like, look how cool this is.
Yeah.
He's like, I please turn it off.
Yeah, I was about to say, and the stream's done.
No, the thing is like Zack Snyder is a brilliant, commercial, like he's a music video / commercial director. He knows exactly what we want to see, how long we want to see it, and he knows how to like his cinematography and the people he hires to photograph his films is top notch. The problem though is that doesn't translate well into writing sometimes. And Sucker Punch, in my opinion, is one of those examples where you have a brilliant aesthetic film that the story was downright insulting to me because basically, to sum it up, there's no point to it. This girl basically has like this nasty stepdad or whatever that like does bad shit to her, then throws her into an insane asylum. And all those badass action sequences you see are internal delusions of her trying to go to her happy place or to her magic place while she does dancing at the asylum. And then at the end of the movie, she gets lobotomized. So all of that didn't matter. She's dead, like, or done. And I'm like,
but you know, there is okay.
Well, the thing
there
is
a truth to that actually being historical too, and that is what happened to a lot of girls and how they went mad in the old asylums. So I mean, I can see why it's a feudal story in a lot of ways, there is a reality to it as well.
I mean, when it comes to lobotomies, they were giving those things out like Ritalin from like the 30s to the 50s. So the movie takes place roughly in the 50s. So, and they basically lobotomy was the miracle cure up until I'd say maybe the late 60s, early 70s. It went out of style because people realized just how bad of an idea it is.
Yeah,
there is still a way that they are used medically, but this one is actually legitimate. It's with very rare seizure disorders. It's actually used to remove the damaged brain tissue that is killing you.
Yeah,
like it used to be like electric shock therapy, where you just cover the whole brain. Nowadays, what they do is they shock specific parts of the brain. It's a little more controlled now.
Yeah,
but
like
there are legitimate reasons for most horrific medical practices. Actually, do have some legitimate uses and cases, but the way that they did it was literally just torturing people and killing them.
Well, it was severing the prefrontal cortex, and anybody that knows anything about neurochemistry knows that when you remove this prefrontal cortex, you remove the person. That's that's what makes you you. I mean, there's that Phineas Gage.
To be fair, that's a frontal lobotomy specifically.
Yeah, where they stick the nail up your nose and hit it with a hammer.
There are multiple types of lobotomies. So
it's
that's why I
either
said
the nose or they
fair.
go through your eye, which is what the one they did in Sucker Punch was, where they kind of go through your eye, like right here.
Oh,
yeah, it's a terrible way to go.
Yeah, it is. Because like anything with like tomy in it means removal of. So like a colostomy is a removal of your colon. Lobotomy is a removal of one of the lobes of your brain. You know, so.
Which I almost had to have for my seizures as a child.
Oof.
Yeah.
I did almost end up like that. So that's why I said I do actually understand to a degree. There are places where it's the only way to keep the person alive is to do at least a partial of one of the types. But at that point, I still have questions of whether at that point it's worth fighting to keep him alive anymore.
Yeah, because the they is gone. Like Phineas Gage, when he had the railroad spike go through went clean through his head. It's one of the most famous cases of cerebral, like basically cerebral penetration with long-lasting survival. The guy lived I think he lived into his 40s or 50s, which was okay at that time. But his entire personality changed, and it wasn't him anymore.
Are you guys familiar with the tale of Rosemary Kennedy?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
That is such a tragic tale.
And you want to know another really famous case of essentially an unintended lobotomy? This is a World War I story.
I want to talk about Rosemary Kennedy here. So so anyway, right. So those who aren't familiar, Rosemary Kennedy. Oh, okay, all right. So for those who aren't familiar, Rosemary Kennedy was part of the Kennedy clan, and like she had some problems growing up. I think, Eagle, are you familiar with the story?
A bit, but it's been a long time, so
I believe by today's standards, she was like bipolar, maybe a bit autistic, like nothing that like literally, if she was alive today, she would have lived a perfectly healthy life.
Yeah.
And they lobotomized her. She lived to be like 70.
Drooling in her soup.
What's really crazy is when she lived in London, when her dad was ambassador in Britain, she went to Montessori school and she flourished there. Like she was actually doing really, really well at the school, but they had to pull her out. It's a really big tragedy because she could have been cured even by the standards of the day, but her father was so ambitious and she was such a problem. It just I don't know. I'm a mental health advocate. As a person who suffers from things myself, it's a story that always gets me.
And you know a bit about why I have the issues I do. So obviously these kinds of stories hit me very deeply, very personally, and a lot of reasons. I've never understood we're not going to try to save you that a lot of families will do to the people in their lives. It's like, they're your loved ones, they're your family, they're your children. How can you not fight for them?
I mean, that was the whole purpose of insane asylums up until I'd say 20 years, like up until the 90s. Insane asylums were like, oh, you have a person who's mental, stick him here. You can just forget about him. You know, that was the point of insane asylums up until the 90s. But Sharon, you brought up another one right as I was about to talk about a different one. What are you going to say?
Was I? Oh yeah. Red Baron.
You kind of like you had like a little bit of a cutout. But yeah, like I was kind of talking about something you kind of were changing the topics. That's why I want to get mine out first. But you go ahead now.
Yeah, it was the Red Baron.
The Red Baron?
The Red Baron, because when he was on one of his last fighting runs, somebody actually shot him right underneath the jaw and right outside the top of his head. And they put him on medical leave, and they noticed that once he got back out onto the field, he was almost a completely different man.
Yep.
And the actual reason he died was because of what was essentially his lobotomy, because it changed the way he viewed situations. And so he basically tunnel visioned onto one guy and got taken out by AA guns.
I've actually heard stuff like that where like you have a person who after like a traumatic brain injury, they suddenly become like this amazing artist.
Oh yeah. Know?
I've heard stories like that. So it's just really interesting. The brain is truly a fascinating thing. But
I've always kind of wondered what I would have been without the issues and traumas and brain scarring that I had, because I don't remember. My first memory is waking in the hospital after the massive seizure tried to kill me. So I have no memory of what my brain was before this damage.
Rose, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like Chris needs to go, so I think we're gonna wrap things up. Chris, before you go, final words, anything you want to say to people? Go ahead.
I want to say Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Jesus bless you all.
And a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
All
right.
Sorry.
I gotta get going. Have a good one, everyone. Cheers.
Take care.
I do apologize, Rose. I didn't mean. But
What?
All right. So Nyx, you've been awfully quiet. What do you have to say for yourself?
No thought, kind of.
What?
No thoughts, head empty.
All right. Well, anything you want to say? Final words?
I guess I'll say. I was gonna say Merry Christmas, but that I think I'm gonna say that closer to the actual.
Yep.
Have a good night, everyone. If it's night for you, I
To
guess.
all a good night.
If this room's this dark, it's nighttime now.
So, like I said, we're gonna be doing Christmas all month. Next week is gonna be the positive aspects of Christmas. Week after that, we're doing nostalgia, and then the last week in December, we're doing a year wrap up. So that's what we got going for you guys. Thank you, Peter Vankeman fan site. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday. Sharon, any final thoughts, insults, plain simple questions?
I mean, honestly, first of all, happy season's beatings. Stay safe out there. And
just beat it.
And second of all, just keep your curiosity out there. There's lots of interesting stuff to learn.
But it killed the cat.
Oh,
but I'm the
life
cat
was
here, so
never
don't
meant to
worry
be
for
this
you
long
guys.
anyhow.
It's like these guys said earlier that the horror is when you grow old and you're the only one dealing with the holidays. I feel good because I'm gonna die young. I mean,
so Rose, any final words, thoughts?
Die young and have a miserable time.
Well, everyone, thank you for showing up. And although it's been said many times, many ways,
Merry Christmas to no one. Ha ha ha.